Imagine if Cristiano Ronaldo won the 2026 World Cup. A question that has haunted every football fan for decades.
The impossible.
Look into his eyes. Roaring crowds and fireworks tearing through the sky. While Messi's heartbroken tears, Mbappe's despair, and the weeping of Brazil tell the story of a night where all expectations shattered. And amidst all this wreckage stands the king, head held high, proving to the world that history is only written by kings. And just like that, Cristiano Ronaldo had done it. The World Cup was finally his. The final piece of the puzzle was finally in place. He had conquered Europe, won football's greatest individual awards, and dominated the biggest stages of the game. But his story was never just about trophies. It was about consistency, longevity, and an obsession with greatness. More than 900 career goals, there was always one trophy that stood above all the others: the FIFA World Cup. But one dream refused to become reality. World Cup after World Cup, the trophy kept slipping away. And after Qatar, many believed the story was over, that the final chance had come and gone. "20 years of pressure, 20 years of expectations, 20 years of criticism, 20 years of people saying it would never happen. And now, against all odds, it had. For Portugal, this was history. For millions watching around the world, this was a dream come true. And for Cristiano Ronaldo, this was more than a trophy. It was the ending of a journey that began decades earlier. 20 years of attempts, and on that night, the football world stood still, watching history unfold. The greatest achievement of his career, the perfect ending. But then, time reminded everyone of something. Years before that night.
I will say I will finish football if this happens.
That's it, you retire, right?
Back then, those words sounded impossible, almost unbelievable, just a football fantasy, a dream that seemed far away from reality. But in 2026, reality finally caught up. The World Cup was finally his. The dream was complete. The journey was complete. For the first time in decades, there was nothing left to chase. No bigger trophy, no greater achievement, no unfinished chapter. But every story, no matter how legendary, eventually reaches its final page. Time never stops, it never waits, and it never loses. With every passing day, the question grew louder. How much longer could this continue? How many matches remained? How many final moments were left? For years, football had been Cristiano Ronaldo's entire world, his purpose, his obsession, his life. But now, for the first time, the end was no longer a distant thought. It was real, closer than ever. Because after reaching the summit, there is only one direction left. And sooner or later, every legend must make the same decision: to keep going or to say goodbye. But after Ronaldo won the World Cup, the question that had divided the football world for decades returned once again. Had the debate about the greatest player of all time finally come to an end? For more than 2 generations, each side had its own arguments. The numbers, the trophies, the talent, the influence. And there was never a single answer capable of silencing everyone. But winning the World Cup changed the equation completely. Because Ronaldo didn't simply add another trophy to his collection. He closed the final case that had always been used against him. For years, there was one missing piece. One piece that many believed prevented the picture from ever being complete. But now, the picture was complete. Cristiano Ronaldo had everything: the Champions League, the Ballon d'Or, the records, and now the World Cup as well. That is why the balance of the debate began to shift. Not slightly, but more than ever before. For the first time, the idea of Cristiano Ronaldo being the greatest player in football history felt more convincing than ever. There was nothing left to prove. He had reached the summit, Cristiano Ronaldo. For 2 entire decades, this moment felt impossible. Cristiano Ronaldo lifting the World Cup trophy. But now the impossible has become reality, and the moment he lifted that trophy, the world seemed to stop for a few seconds. Not because a nation had won a tournament, but because one of the greatest stories in sports history had finally reached its ending. Within hours, images and clips flooded social media platforms across the world. Engagement shattered every expectation. Headlines climbed to the front pages everywhere. And Cristiano Ronaldo became the biggest topic on the internet. People were no longer debating whether he could do it, because he had already done it. And now, the entire world was witnessing the result. The media reacted, global brands followed, and advertising campaigns began to form around a single image. An image millions had waited years to see. But behind all the numbers, all the headlines, and all the noise, the world wasn't simply watching a victory. It was witnessing a moment that would live forever in football history. Cristiano Ronaldo didn't just change football. He changed Portugal's place forever. With his legacy now complete, Portugal is no longer chasing history. It has joined it. The first star on the shirt is no longer a dream. It is a statement. Across Europe, the perception has shifted completely. Portugal is no longer seen as an outsider. It is now part of the elite. A nation that once climbed step by step, now stands among the very best. And in the end, Ronaldo didn't just elevate a player's legacy,